Hi Leo, welcome into a brief weekly reading for you. I hope you're doing well. I did just split the deck after the last attempt to get this reading done, and I have the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot card. I feel like you're very motivated this week to achieve more financial success, to bring in more. You might be in the midst of a new opportunity or a continuing one, either way, or both for some. But I do sense that you're going to achieve a lot this week, and it's going to feel quite rewarding, and you're going to see a reminder coming through that you're making the right choices and that you're moving forward along the right path. Okay, definitely intertwining together, of course, but I also feel like you are manifesting a ton at this time, as there is a bug on my head, bear with me. But I do sense there is naturally a focus throughout the week on your ability to focus on something and see it transpire in your reality, your external reality, and maybe even to an extent when it comes to your internal reality as well, if that makes sense. But I do feel as if it's meant to be a magical week, and your approach to things is definitely playing into that. All right. I also feel like if you look at the card and how the sun is shining down upon it, there's naturally spotlight attention on the fact that you have the ability to do what you do and maybe what you're stepping into very efficiently, but also again that ability to manifest. But I'm also sensing it's naturally just a week of a lot of attention, all right? Some good, some bad, but it feels like mainly good attention. And I do feel like it's another week where you're being reminded the possibilities are endless for you. Now, the way you're sitting is going to teach you and or remind you of a lot, so I wouldn't say overly focus on it, excuse me. I wouldn't say overly focus on it, of course, but it's going to teach you of and or remind you of something once again. But what else do we have for Leo? There's a focus on nature as well. And I feel like you're feeling quite, I'm hearing chilling confident, and this is going to work to your advantage. And what you put up with, what you deal with feels less present throughout the week or completely removed, depending on what that is for you. I also sense dogs are part of your week, but your communication skills throughout the week are quite on point. Putting forth the effort to communicate to that person or that group of people or that community, and that working to your advantage. Little annoyances don't seem to get the best of you throughout the week, but it feels like, again, it's a week of a lot of accomplishing. It could definitely be a very busy week for you. But either way, I feel like you're going to sense satisfaction and fulfillment is just part of your world, okay? Part of your existence. What else do we have for Leo? Oh, bear with me. I thought a card fell as I was spiritually messed with. But I don't feel like that's going to happen to you throughout the week, at least not to the extent that you were informed of or you felt was going to continue or pop up for you. Things are working out in your favor, Leo. The World card and the Judgment card, because I feel like as your world changes and develops, you're going to need to be completely and wholeheartedly honest with yourself. I feel like on one end, where are we putting this new money? Where are we putting that existing money stepping into and continuing through the week? How are we going to sort through and clean up this and that, down the line, even if it's not throughout the specific time period? But as well, I feel as if this is also highlighting and speaking upon you releasing maybe an old version of yourself. Again, that could intertwine with what we were just saying, a habit or two. And releasing that or making progress with that. And so it's a week of progress. I feel like on so many different levels, and you're going to feel people are seeing you as a quality energy, attractive. You may be thinking about future purchases, but I don't see it as a week to purchase whatever that ends up being. Although naturally I feel like you're going to be spending money, but you may find that it's a week where it just kind of speeds on by, whether it's because you're busy, you're enjoying yourself, both, you name it. But people are complimenting you. And I also feel like I'm getting, when people look at you, there's a sense of complimenting coming through, all right? At least at certain points. But the Six of Wands, the Star card, and the Knight of Wands, victorious, my friend. It's a week where you're going to see your efforts from the past and currently paying off. And the sense you're feeling as if it's easier throughout the week at certain points or in general to do things in your own way, to feel that freedom and control present for you, all right? I also feel like you're naturally quite passionate, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. It feels inspiring, it feels connected, and it feels like it's wrapped up with a nice natural flow. But I do also feel as if you're receiving, okay, a little wish fulfillment, but there's a bigger one on the horizon. And you're also going to be dancing throughout the week, and this will feel good. But I also want to say music is a big part of your week as well. I'm getting from this here, kind of a hermit card vibe. Lighting the torch forward is what I'm getting. A torch, definitely speaking upon victory once again, but lighting your path forward, as I feel like a lot of what's drawn to the reading are as well lighting the way for one, if not multiple other people. And that could, of course, be some sort of community, if not multiple. I also feel like a lot of messages are coming through from spirit when it comes to synchronicities. So do pay attention to those, but trust your intuition through it all, naturally throughout the entire week. People will be teaching you stuff, but I feel like you'll also be informing and utilizing this and that to help others. Okay. But what else do we have? The Ace of Swords in reverse. There's a focus on what you don't see clearly. All right. Or maybe more in regards to what you didn't see clearly, and that's dissipating, that's feeling more clear to you as the week trickles on. People are seeing your mind as, I'm hearing a beautiful thing, but for some of which there's a sense of curiosity coming to be in regards to that. But I also feel like you're remembering how much of a powerhouse you are, right? How much you can handle on your plate, how much you can accomplish, and how far you're meant to go in this lifetime. I'm also feeling like there's a focus on short people, okay? But let's see here. The Nine of Cups at the bottom. Again, that little wish fulfillment feels bigger to you in the moment because maybe it's a long time coming, or it was, it just felt less doable, for a certain period of time or in general. But I do sense that things are going in your favor, and I'm hearing on the up and up, all right? There's a golden way about how you don't give in to pressure, all right, to the negative energy potentially within that job situation, maybe, that job situation, or maybe at home, maybe when in regards to a connection or two, but either way, or that neighborhood is what I'm hearing for somebody. But you will find that this plays to your advantage very, very nicely, okay? You've learned, you've gained over time in so many different important ways, and I'm getting the word knowledge, and this is benefiting you throughout this week in so many beautiful, beautiful ways, okay? It felt a little repetitive. I'm being spiritually messed with a little bit, but it feels, again, less likely if you've been dealing with that. Here we go. We have the Page of Swords, talking about the beginning or the continuation of a new passionate beginning, but there's also a focus on what needs to be released and what has been released. And I feel like your future will come to mind in a different light than it once has. This will help you greatly when it comes to upcoming adjustments, changes, developments. But I also feel like it's another week where your continuing growth on a soul level is feeling quite relevant, whether it's more so to you, other people in general. But I feel like it doesn't feel like a week where anxiety is present for you. And if you've been dealing with a lot of that, what a relief, okay? Or maybe if you're empathic and or very spiritually connected, it doesn't feel like that's present, or as much of which. I do sense that you're going to need to remember when you need to be nourishing one's temple, right? Okay, your mind with knowledge is what I'm hearing. Maybe a reminder or two, but as well I'm getting food and H2O, water, healthy content as well. There's something about numbers as well, and I'm getting the color yellow. What else do we have? Hearing a lot on your plate for some, but I do sense that you can handle it naturally. I mean, you're a freaking Leo, as we've been saying in these recent readings. Now, the way you do something maybe slower than somebody else or several other people, or just maybe than you once would have or have, that's coming into focus, all right? I sense that as well when you speak quite slowly, or you just naturally take a moment to think about the remainder of that thought that's being expressed, that moment of expression. It's going to work to your advantage, and it may even work to somebody else's or something else's advantage all the meanwhile. But I feel like there are some moments throughout the week where you're a little bit spacey, and this may teach you and or remind you of something. But I also sense that you need to remember that you're one person, okay? When you want to accomplish more in one day throughout the week, or when it just comes to all the obligations that you naturally have to keep up with, right? The Queen of Pentacles, When you're feeling grounded, peaceful, and I'm hearing on point, own it, my friend. All right. People are going to recognize this about you. People are going to genuinely adore your personality and your energy. And I feel like things are heading in the right direction for you in such a general but positive sense. All right. You may find it's a week where you're either continuing to be or in a new way or two are on camera. I'm getting specifically some, there's a focus on security cameras or one in particular, but you may also find it's something like this. 1030, look up the angel number, meaning 1030. There's also a focus on faces. You might be seeing certain faces throughout the week. I would say that is a spiritual occurrence, or several. But we're putting certain difficulties to rest, or it's a continuing process of that. You may find that you are seeing an inflow of abundance in different ways or from a different avenue, and this feels gratifying. This feels like it's adding to your optimism or bringing it on back at certain points. And I'm being shown a handprint. It's kind of one of those, I'm hearing stickers or whatever you want to call it that you put on a window. And it's this feeling of you, and I got this message a while ago. I knew it was going to come out in a reading. It's as if it's the message of you leaving footprints, right? I'm hearing in the sand, moving forward along your path in certain ways, but it feels very hands-on, right? It's like you're doing things proactively with your hands, or one for that matter at certain points. And that is definitely leaving an impression on certain people, a situation maybe, you name it. It's even leaving a positive impression on yourself. You may be reminded of how great you are throughout the week through a push to watch your content, to review your work, to maybe look at your, I'm hearing camera roll, photos, videos, you name it, maybe social media, or maybe a flashback to the past may come into play. But you're a pure soul, and that's also part of your week. Let's pull one more. What we've left behind or what we're planning to leave behind, or maybe both, that is definitely part of your week. My friend, it's also a week where there's a lot of guidance, a lot of support, and a lot of success. Beautiful reading. So I hope this was really helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your week, Leo, and I'll see you next time.